What's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for me. This is Drinks with JD.
Well, I would say it all depends how. Sometimes our producer, Madman, he'll do a beat by himself, send it to us. We'll all check it out, give it thumbs up, thumbs down. So that's one way we'll choose a beat. Or sometimes we'll all three get in there, start one from scratch, and
if we're piecing together.
Yeah, we'll piece it together. And if we're feeling it, we're like, okay, is this something Fly can get on board with? Clown, you feeling this? If we all give it the heads up, we're like, all right. Then we let the tempo, the beat itself dictate, what we're gonna talk about. And once we kind of narrow it down, like if everybody can get a sense of, I know what I want to say on this song, and we all kind of agree on a topic, then we kind of work on the hook of the song. And once we settle in on a hook, we got the beat, the hook, then we can look at each other. All right, let's go home. You do 8 bars. You do 8 bars. 8 bars will come back. Yes. Let everybody hear it, and we'll go from there. And that's when we kind of decide the order. Does this beat need a hook, a break? Do we need to change the bridge? So that's working with a group. That's where it gets a little difficult sometimes, and that's where we have sometimes disagreements and stuff. But in the end, I feel we all kind of, you know what, this is it. Let's do it this way, and that's when it gets released, and we make it a Aztec Tribe song.
For the most part, Reggio Madman will give us a skeleton beat. Very. It's got the
Kick,
important
drums,
parts. Yeah, it's got the important parts. But
structure.
Then we'll come in together, and if we all like it, then we'll go in there and start doing melodies. He starts doing some harmonizing. I mean, whatever it takes to make the beat, even to a different level.
Sometimes we get a beat, like with me, like I start flying off the handle without even a title or a hook. I just start writing, and there's times where we need the hook to kind of like say, like it's sometimes it's political with the three of us, man, because they might think it's dope, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool, but I don't know, I'm not really feeling it this way. But then they'll come up with the hook, and then right away, boom, it clicks.
It makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then we're on board. The three of us on the same page, and that's the thing, man. It's tricky, getting everybody on board, but
well, for instance, back in the zone, it was supposed to be like a quick intro beat that he wrote to, and he killed it.
Yes.
And I wasn't feeling it. I don't think Mike was feeling it as much at the time. And then Mike gave it a second listen, and he's all like, well, I'm gonna get on it. So he wrote to it, and I looked, I'm like, well, shoot, man, if his homie gonna get on it.
His lyrics inspired me. I was like, oh man, he got down on that. Well, I can't let him do it alone. Yeah. So then I did my stuff, and he Fly liked it, Clown liked it, and we're like, you know what? Let's throw a little hook on it, and it just, that song was supposed to be a quick 2-minute intro, if 2 minutes, and it turned out to be a whole song, and then the title track of the album.
Yes.
So
and that a video to it and stuff.
A video to it, and this came out of left field at the 11th hour. You know what I mean? But
it's probably one of our quickest songs we did, to be honest.
Yeah. And Fly set it off, and like I said, I dug what he wrote. Rapped about, and I said, let me throw a little something. And then once we both did it, then I guess Clown took a second listen and said, you know what, I could add something to it too, and it just became a song. But that's how sometimes, to me, the best songs are even made just organically like that. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere, and all it takes is one of us to set it off, and it makes the other guy say, oh, I better step up my game to get on board. And so that's how that Back in the Zone song came out, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And I'm happy you guys made a video to it too.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. So I sense the camaraderie, right? So right now what I'm sensing is iron sharpens iron. Because it's like, you guys feed off each other. Well, obviously, since you guys are how do you say it? Wordsmiths, talented wordsmiths, right? Do you guys think you have a friendly competition? Or
absolutely.
Saying,
absolutely.
Who's gonna drop the dopest verse?
You have to. Okay. Like for instance, that one song, Back in the Zone, he came at it and he came out hard, man. I just couldn't think of anything to write about that time. And then Mike wrote to it, and I heard his, and I'm like, oh, I see. He took a different approach to it. So I kind of went his way, and came out with my lyrics. And yeah, man, it's just how you come at it, you know.
We keep each other on our toes, and like you said, it is a friendly competition. And I just feel if you don't respect the guys in your group or that you're trying to stay at the same level with, you're going to be at the bottom. And I mean, what's the point at that at that time? You know, if you're not going to stay up with your group mates.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier about the way I approached lyricism back then. It's like I was more concerned having that 40 in the studio, with, partying. There's always back then it was a crazy ass atmosphere. You know what I mean? It wasn't business. It was business and pleasure. You know what I mean? So now it's like we approach things differently, more like a business, but in a good way, because we like what we do. It's not like a business where we hate going to the job.
Done out of love,
exactly,
man. We love doing music, and nobody wants to be the weakest rapper on a song. So we keep each other it's on par.
So we were all in the same. We kind of do this to each other, which is good.
And we can talk to each other. I mean, he'll call me every once in a while and say, "Hey, I think you could change this. It would sound better." And,
it's amazing.
So we work together. It's not like
there's no egos here. These are my brothers, man. These are my brothers. I would never get offended if they wanted to change something or take something out that I did, and vice versa. I don't think they would get mad at it. It's just my opinion, and if it sounds better once we do it, then that's the way it goes. And if it doesn't, we'll put it back in.
And 99% of the time, it does sound better. You know what I mean? And nobody likes to be told, "Hey, man, you might want to redo this." No, I mean, you don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Especially when you think you're done and you're moving on. You have to but afterwards you listen, you're like, yeah, he was right. You know what I mean? It sounds better, and then you appreciate that, and then you keep that in the back of your head, like, okay, well, next time there is a little criticism, you might want to listen a little bit, because you might want to implement that and make your shit sound a little tighter, So
that's what I'm talking about. And overall, I mean, for you guys to make classic records, it's like obviously you guys do it as a team, together. And it's amazing. Well, especially when us fans, we listen to the final product. So that's dope that you guys, iron sharpens iron. That's amazing. Yeah. So one thing that I love about Latinos and Chicanos in hip hop is that you guys take advantage of the Spanish and English, right? The languages that you guys speak, right? Why is it important to you to show that side of your culture?
I mean, it's dope, man. I mean. Like me, it took me a long time to rap in Spanish. Like Spanish was my first language at home, of course. But rapping wise, it's I like to intertwine it. I think it's fun. When you start off, rhyming in Spanish, and you finish up that lyric in English. And then you don't even see the transition. You don't even hear. It's a seamless transition. You're like, oh shit, he was just rapping in Spanish. A second ago, literally. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard that before. Like, damn, man, I forgot you were rapping in Spanish after a while, or English, because you
That's
just
exactly
went back.
how it sounds.
So to me, it's dope. I like it.
We've been doing it since the beginning, and more now because of where the rap culture is taking us, and who's listening to us. So it's challenging in a way, but at the same time, it's very satisfying to be able to hear yourself do full-on bars in Spanish, and other people from Mexico can listen to it, and actually sing along or rap along, So yeah, it's a trip, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so you guys been knowing each other for decades, right? How was it growing up with each other?
Oh man.
Well, 30 years, over 30 years of knowing each other, and we're like brothers, like you said. So we clown each other a lot. We've argued a lot. I mean, fought a lot. But at the end, man, it's all love. You know,
it's like any family. I mean, we've had pretty close calls, physical confrontations, not talking to each other for a while. But then again, we're always there for each other. One phone call away if we ever needed somebody or somebody to talk to, lean on, or anything, man. I could call any one of these guys. They could do the same with me, but it's just like any regular family, man. There's ups and downs, fights, and happiness, tears, whatever it is. I mean, I think we've been through
all of that.
We're the Temptations of the rap world.
Of course.
No shit, man. That's when it's one of my favorite movies, because it reminds the Temptations movie reminds me of us. I mean, it's just crazy.
And we got stories of funny shit that happened. I mean, we're talking about like being in hotels and doing stuff, getting kicked out of hotels because we were just being rowdy. And I mean, we got a lot of good stories that are in the, you know, in the back.
It's the fun part of, I mean, there's ups and downs of being in a group, but I think that's one of the advantages for sure. I mean, we started with 5 rapping members. We're down to 3. You know, everybody went their separate ways, but we had a DJ, dancers, and
we even had a female rapper.
Yeah, female rapper back in the day. This is way back in the days, but part of the advantage of having a group is that you got all these homies that turn into like your brothers, your family, and close friends. I mean, it's been 20-something years, and we talk every day. And getting back in the studio a couple years ago, I don't think we skipped a beat besides, you know, the evolution of the music and our lyrics and all that, but we still give each other the same shit and joke around, and you know, it's like back when we started in the 90s. So
it's our relationship is unique because it's one thing to grow up together and go through life's experiences, but we've done it like that, and then we've done it behind the scenes where nobody else knows our business. It's just a very select few of our inner circle knows what we've been through. So we have like this little fraternity. It's like I know what he feels, I know what he feels because I lived it. I've been through it. You know what I mean? It's like we've been through the side, we've been burned, we've been dealing with some shady characters, we've been to the top of the mountain, we've been to the bottom of the valley. You know what I mean? We've experienced it together that most people that are not in the business don't know how it feels like. You know what I mean? And we feel each other, we get each other, we help each other. You know, my mother passed away recently, and these guys have been very supportive, man. They just call, you know, it's not about music, it's a friendship thing, it's a love thing, man, and I love them more for that, you know, because I know they're my true friends. They're not just because of the music. We met through the music, but we're not friends now because of the music. We're friends because we're family, man, you know, and
it's amazing. It's like you gain brothers.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Make sure you ask that question to Madman when you interview him, and he's probably going to tell you a whole different story. He's like, man, it is so hard to record these guys because all they're doing is clowning each other.
Talking shit.
MTO knows what's up. He's been in those recording sessions.
Well, that's a part of the love, right?
Madman's the honorary Aztec Tribe member. That cat's been down with us from day one, and he's seen everything. I mean, he's part of the group. He should be here, but I know you're probably doing something.
Happy belated birthday to Madman. It was his birthday yesterday.
It's actually his birthday yesterday.
I think he's 83 or something like that. What is it, 82? What is it?
Yeah, that cat, man, he's been nothing but good to us, and he's actually a brother to us as well, man.
He's one of my best friends in the world,
same.
man.
I talk to that cat almost every day, man. He's seen, been through it all, and all the memories that we're sharing with you, and he's a big part of that as well. He's been ups and downs, and that's a really good guy, man. Genius too, man. That guy is so talented, man.
And Ms. V and Mr. V allowing us to just, I mean,
his parents, man.
Hours, and I mean, it's gotta get annoying to them, but they're
You're
great.
in the same
great people.
beat, bumping for like 6-7 hours, man, continuously, and never complaining about it, man. Just giving us our space, allowing us to create, to do what we do.
Allowing us to be a part of their family. We're in that studio so much, man.
Yeah, I can only imagine the parents looking at you guys from like chavalitos to
like
today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love them like they were my parents.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Mr. V called me hijo, and I respect them and love them like my dad too. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a wonderful thing to be accepted, and to be allowed to and just be yourself, man, without repercussions, without being judged and stuff. I feel like I'm at my home when I go over there, man.
Our camp's a brotherhood, and it's a family, and I know people use those words real freely, but it really is with us, man. Like I said, it goes beyond the music. We talk almost on a daily basis, and like Fly said, and sometimes not even about music, just, hey man, what you doing, you know what I mean? Let's go grab a beer, or let's go hang out, or something like that. So this music is actually takes second seat to our friendship that we've developed over these 20-something years, man.
Yeah, Ms. V is the team mom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Team mom.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but overall, like I said, you know, it was just like you guys gained brothers and just overall a family because of something you guys share, which is the art and the passion for music.
Yes.
It's amazing. Okay. All right, so I guess let me keep poking at it, right, on the Madman topic. So something that I love that you guys, well, if you guys, you know, for the fans who listen to the music, is out on your latest album. You know, you guys stay true from the beginning, from the first album, that you guys are working with another pioneer, which is Madman. You know, who also helped mold the San Diego sound as well.
Absolutely.
How'd you guys meet, Madman?
Who wants to talk about it?
Well, I think we met him through Night Owl. Yeah, so Night Owl was working with Rest in Peace Night Owl.
Yes, rest in peace.
He passed away a few years back.
Much props. I think the Rude Dog.
Rude Dog, yes.
Hooked up with them, and
One of the original members
Yes.
in the group, Rude Dog. Yeah.
and I think they, I think that's how we made up. And at one time when we met Reggie, we started working with them, and we were actually under the same label with Night Owl. At the time, they were starting a subsidiary label that was branching out from Pandisc. I don't know if you remember the label Pandisc from Miami, the Miami booty-based music, Miami El Negro, and all those other jams were coming out. So we wanted to do like a West Coast affiliate.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's how we met, and you know, we just took off from there, man. We just meshed. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was no getting to know you type of thing. Like, you know, like we were just in there and just boom, 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 things started moving. It was a trip. You know?
Yeah, Madman is the sound of San Diego from the 90s. I mean, he
100%.
produced GPA, Little One, Night Owl. I mean, there was other groups that he did that are not even...
Everybody, if you were a group in San Diego back in the 90s, you went through the Mad Lab, Alchemy Studio, and you know who Madman is, man. He was a big influence on music out here in San Diego.
The people that we meet for the first time, wherever we're at a function or whatever, there's the business. Just as much as they want to get to know us, like, so who's Madman? You know what I mean? He's got that reputation. He's got that. They want to know. They want to meet him because they appreciate his talent. You know, so
of course, I mean, created classic hits.
Yeah,
you know,
right,
even to this day, I mean, he's still creating amazing records.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So, okay, so how about this? Since we're on Madman, and also how you guys stay true to the sound, right? Let me talk about something that me as a fan, I'm like, man, I wish they would have kept this stuff back at the zone, right? So one thing that I noticed as a fan is that on Desperados, you guys had some dope skits. Yeah. And you guys didn't really have skits on Back in the Zone. Like, why didn't you guys do that?
I think it's where, because of the way the albums were done back then, you had that ability. Now it's all digital, so it's kind of hard to do that. We talked about doing something like that, but it was kind of it's a different culture.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna click on a 15-second skit. You know what I mean? But yeah, they were fun to make. You know, we had some classics, man, that they still get brought up to this day.
Of course, I mean, like the Hoochie and the K and the KTRB, or the radio station. Yeah. So it's like, man, I wish it would have. But I totally understand. But I guess you could say that's a different aspect to, like, even growing into the digital.
I think that's what made the 90s what it was. The way music was made, the like you said, with skits. And nowadays, I mean, like I said, the whole music climate changed. I don't know if anybody's doing that. And man, a lot of these songs are like 2 minutes long now. You know what I mean? They're over in like 2-3 minutes tops. So I just feel music's just different, and I think that's why me, the fellas, we appreciate what the 90s was for that. And you got that little extra when you popped in a CD and got to hear some behind the scenes or some funny stuff. Now it's just like 2-3 minute songs, and that's about it.
We all love the skits, man. I mean, you know, These Nuts from Chronic and stuff. I mean, they're classics, man, and the stuff that we still say to this day, man. They were fun to make. I mean, I wasn't opposed to doing it, but yeah, like you said, it's just different now. But plus it shows our funny side to it. You know, it's not all serious, man, because like, if we've always said that if we had hidden cameras and do like a reality show, we'd probably be #1 in the country, man, because we just joke nonstop, man. I mean, just bagging on each other left and right and stuff, and all in good fun. At the end of the day, it's all right, man. See you later. You know, have a good one. See you next time. Boom. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and touching on what Mike said about how music is like 2-minute songs. Attention span to what's going on now with people, attention span's like short. So if you make a song that's over 3 minutes, you know, people already jump into the next one. You know, and me personally, I like long. You know, I like, you know, more bounce to the ounce. Well, it's 12 minutes. So exactly. I like anything that you can cruise for a long period of time. You know, it's without having to change the station or whatever, the track. You know.
No, and you know what? I mean, I'm happy that you guys are touching on it, just so the younger audience could see, and that's something that I also appreciated, growing up, and because it's also it develops different characters. How you guys are saying, to just have fun and all that stuff. Like I don't know, let's just say if you listen to the Eminem records or something, how there's certain people on the skits. It's like you go from the first album all the way to like the fourth album. It's just like, okay, you get to see those characters grow, and it's like I just hate that aspect is taken away because of the short attention span that we have today.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And something we did with back in the zone that we did from Straight for the Zone was the Madman interlude.
Yes.
And he made it, and we all loved it. And he's like, should we even put it in? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, put that in. That's just dope, man.
So he's
Part of the group.
Yeah.
That's his expression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
keep the integrity of the record of an Aztec Tribe record.
Yeah, it reminds me of the quick grooves. DJ Quick, had those,
Yes.
and every album he had a quick groove, and it was nice instrumentals, man, that you could actually just vibe to or actually write to. You know what I mean? I love those.
This latest album we did, like you said, from the first one, Straight from the Zone. This one's Back in the Zone. We just wanted to go full circle with everything, and come back to our roots and do what the fans, I feel, and us appreciated. And that's what we wanted to do with this latest album we did. We just brought it right back to square one.
Yeah, no, I love that aspect of it, is that there is still integrity within this latest record to other records as well. So since we're speaking about records, so the latest album was the latest album you guys recently dropped was Back in the Zone, right? So prior to that was What If?
Yes.
Now in between was a break. Can you guys speak about the hiatus?
I think it was like a cordial divorce.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There was no argument. There was no stuff going down that caused it. I think we just needed a break. We were together since '91 when we dropped. The last one was 2003. So I think we just needed a break, man. Doing albums and doing shows, and just it takes a lot of time away from your family. And I think it's a tug of war always, man. And that's the struggle. You know what I mean? Just trying to balance it. And the hiatus was good in a way because, like I said, I think we came back hungry. On this one, I think it kind of shows the way we everything was kicked up a couple notches. I think, you know what I mean. So, it happened. It was good. You know what I mean. But,
The funny thing is, I don't think we ever got on the phone and said, "Hey guys, we're done." And I don't think it was ever spoken.
No.
It just slowly
Fizzled.
and faded, and next thing you know, 1 month became a year, and it became 2 years. You get caught up in your regular life, and next thing you know, it's been like 20 years. You're like, man, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? I've always, like I said, Madman's one of my closest friends, and I just love music. So I've always been in there doing beats and messing around with music. I just love the whole creative process, but like Fly said, that hiatus, I think, gave us a break, and when we did decide to come back and work on stuff, it was just like we picked up where we left off, and our skills were more sharp, or like I said, music's changed, so you hear the new stuff that's out there, and it kind of adds to your repertoire of what you can do, and I think it came out amazing. I'm proud of this latest album we did.
Yeah, for me, my dad had just recently passed away in 2003, and so my mind state was not all there, and I really needed to focus on my career, on my business, and because of that, man, that was 20 years pretty much.
it's crazy.
Yeah, my business is in a different level. That's because I focused on that. When you're trying to do two things, trying to run a business and trying to, meet with the guys and write lyrics and meet deadlines, and there's a lot of pressure. So it was well accepted. We needed that break. And in a way, it sucked because we didn't talk for a long time, but we knew we were always there. I knew that if I called them, they'd reach out, or we'd make something happen.
Yes.
So it was just a matter of time of getting together, and finally we did, and
I don't think the love for music ever left anybody, even with that hiatus. I'm sure he was always writing and listening.
Yeah. Can you guys elaborate on that? Like, would you guys write on your own time?
I did, yeah. I worked on, and it was just for fun. I had no intention of putting anything out or anything, just to stay sharp. And, for me, the whole creative process, when you have something in your head and then you work with the producer, and he's able to take out what you're thinking and actually put it to an audio sound. You're like, man, and that's why I say Madman's a genius. Everything I had in my head, like he could actually get it out and make it so that everybody could hear it.
Yes.
And I just love that whole creative process. So I was always in there working on something, and even if it was just an instrumental, you know, and in hopes of one day, hey, maybe these guys will call me, we'll do something. But
Yes.
I always stayed active, maybe not as active when we were a group and we would meet like once a week or sometimes finish a song in a week or whatever, but I was always active with Madman and doing it. So that's why when we did come back together, it felt pretty natural, because I never really stopped myself.
I didn't touch a pen the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, me either.
Really?
You know, I because right after the 2003, the last album, What If, I was working on a solo album, me and Reggie, and we had about 22 tracks on it.
Wow.
I put my heart and soul in that, man, and it was supposed to come out, and through the, you know, things that happened in the business, it never came out. So that kind of disheartened me, man. I just, you know what, man, I'm done with this, man. I put my heart and soul into it. I had things that I've been wanting to do. I put it down, and then, so I didn't write, man, for like 15 years, man. I didn't touch a pen. I would hear music, and I would always critique it. You know, like, oh, this would be something that would have been good for the group, or something that I would mess with, you know, but that'd be the extent of it. Like, you know, I'd get people all the time, you know, hey, man, you want to do this? I'm like, nah, I'm good, man, I'm done. I'm good. You know, in a respectful way, of course, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm happy with the way things, you know, the course it took and stuff like that. I was content and happy and satisfied. But yeah, I didn't touch anything, man, for the longest time.
Things happen for a reason, you know. Right now, 90s music's hitting hard. It's when we came out, you know. So if we would have done this maybe 10 years ago, it probably wouldn't be the same, you know.
Yeah, timing's perfect.
Timing is perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Timing
okay.
is perfect.
Fly, I wanted to keep poking at it, right? At the solo album. Have you guys ever thought about making solo albums? I mean, I know Fly was talking about it, but not to divide the Aztec Tribe, but just overall, have you guys ever thought about making